pressure. Now starting them out. The spike let loose. The paper clearing out the B side. Sufat BB a little too late to the party here with 25 seconds. There's a firing squad around that corner. This is Haunt in 10, but look at the timer. Very difficult situation. And there it is, comfortable in the end. Handle that well.
Sufat BB positioned as the late round piece here. Was played out of this because I'm sure it was Juicy. It was caught on the reload here.
Down B.
Really rough timing for him. Yeah, I mean it's just nobody just comfortably that can swing onto that angle to bail him out. Even there, I mean Sufat BB another consolation potentially to find.
Wait, something.
But just didn't find it. Juicy already on the showstopper here, so going to see him ride a stinger into round 4.
I'll find you.
Expect too much of a pace shift here, but I mean on the talking about early round protocols here, PaperX dealing with the turret nice and early here. That's your set piece out. Juicy's been shut down.
Nice.
Oh, what a lovely little play to bring out the back of contact. It's stunning, and it's rewarded them 2 kills. This is that evolution to PaperX we love. Now getting to watch, right? It's not just that mechanical talent, that aggression. They have these little set pieces they like to run every now and then, and it wasn't overly complex.
Lo, apa itu? What is he doing?
Catching them asleep at the wheel there, Mike. That's going to haunt them. And
Alah.
an overstep, unnecessary. This feels
Sabar,
like
Batman masih nge-flank.
It looks like Batman might be the saving grace to this, though.
Lysol's read it.
Lysol has read it. Oh!
Waduh.
This is a fumble for PaperX and a gutting one because it was a brilliant
Rote
start.
jelas.
2 players caught sleeping, and the spike is there as well. All they needed to do was reinforce
Sayang
that
banget, Cok.
hole.
Udah menang orang tadi 3 lawan 5, saving. Udah jelas.
To dissect
Gak punya duit.
that setup just outside C.
30 seconds left.
Actually find themselves a plant here. Why are you
Lockdown.
down 15 HP? You get the lockdown off this as well, you're right.
Iya, Gua kenyalain anjing. Tuh gua nyalain. Oh iya.
It's
Dah.
Divine.
Di press.
Problem is there's utility in the way.
Apa ana?
Gonna find it tricky. Position now given away, and you can see Lysol should be the checkmate. There's that layer of util from YU. Isolated and alone. And a
Nice try.
devastating
Wah, sayang
mistake
banget,
there
Cok,
from
tadi, Cok.
PaperX. Credit to Wolves for re-engaging, but they cannot be dropping the ball like that.
Was it the timing on the
Gini
smoke?
loh.
I mean,
Udah
this is
bagus,
exactly the sort of thing I talked about before this map started. PaperX being aggressive,
Dapat dua udah
picking
bagus,
apart this
malah
slow default and looking
Jason
to
coach
control
on
it
guard
here.
anjing.
I mean, both players. Smoke
smoke in
drops,
hand?
yeah. I mean, that's just,
Yeah,
that is outrageous to see somebody caught off guard like that.
Wah, ini banger ini, match banger guys.
and do you know what? Insult to injury as well. They're up out their seats.
Yeah.
They're giving it. 'Cause you know that's the ones that are going to tilt you. But back in, PaperX have a very strong mental. They're not going to break off that. Alex might, but they won't. So PaperX needs to kind of reignite a little bit of that focus here. You can't get lazy in this. You've got to stay lethal. Something. Tries to do a little bit of early work, but can be warded away. And we've seen these slower defaults coming out from Wolves, doing the diligent work, right? They've been doing what is necessary.
I mean, even here, damage trade-off that come out.
Sekalinya
on top.
watch party langsung get match
Weaken
gini anjing.
See, the purchase not there for PaperX.
Aduh.
And Prowler will force something even deeper here. Oh, how do I send through? Juicy's potentially going to be... Oh, actually, the TP comes across from Lysol, so I'll still have somebody to back him up initially. And actually,
Wah, Cok, di lockdown anjing.
Respect
Gila, respect banget
Sense
mereka loh.
once again.
Eko di ulti, gila.
That previous
You've got
round,
to,
yeah.
You've got to. I mean, PaperX, you said it right. Those are the sort of rounds that sometimes they look the scariest in almost. But for now, Wolves finding stability here in the post plant. They've still got to keep it in mind that there is danger. Plenty through Waterfall. 4-1 split on the retake now. Juicy turns attention. Smokes great from them. Laban on the spray.
Batman's got 2.
Batman has got 2. Maybe a chance. It feels like it's dwindling. These opportunities passing by for them.
Something
As
nilai
it looks like
seperempat darah.
4-1 will be on the board. Not waiting to see a timeout soon enough here. As something's on 1. Got to get locked in. As this
Saving enggak
passed
kan?
them by here.
Oh ya tuh saving cuy dapat phantom.
Silver lining, the best they can hope for as Wolves off to the ideal start.
Aduh,
Look, I know all
1-4
of us
kill
have been
guys.
enjoying this Wolves run. I think most of us thought this is where it probably ends. But you could argue someone said that about Gen G too. But
Yeah.
at 4-1, I'm paying attention.
I mean, I remember coming into that Gen G series thinking, if they could pull this off,
That's the one.
because they still effectively had a lifeline in terms of dropping.
Yes.
There's no elimination on the line. And even here now,
Lost dan
such a big sigh of relief to escape that once more.
Now use them.
4-1 to kick off Lotus here. PaperX, I mean, you don't ever really humble PaperX. They will continue pressuring like this. Odin investment here from Forsaken, though, may lead you to believe it's a slower round. TP's actually stuck here, Lystor. Bold in approach.
And that was pinged so quickly
Yeah.
as well. It looked like so aware of this. And whatever the set
Nice,
plan
nice.
was, feels like
Dah dapat
PaperX
dua,
read
yuk
that.
jangan
There's
ngetrol,
something we're
jangan
seeing,
ngetrol,
so if they swing
tadeng.
out from B there, that
Yeah.
maybe they feel like the extremity is going to be the weaker side of the hold, but Forsaken shuts that down.
Certainly
Ting,
not, but
ting,
3v5,
ting,
I
ting,
wanna
ting,
see
ting.
discipline from PaperX here. I don't want to see fumbles. I don't want to see mistakes.
Great isolation.
It certainly was. Now, Forsaken is going to do some good chip damage as well. Look at
Yalah.
Fat Baby down on only 26. Spring's position given away. Look where the spot.
No!
Oh! What is that? Ridiculous. And a 2v3 is not impossible. So
Encik.
they are just gunning it, right? They are running their little legs off straight towards C. They're going to leave one behind. YU,
Actually, the tap of the spikes, drawn out the ultimate from Divide.
I mean,
Nightfall here from
30
the
seconds
plant
left.
as well.
oh, the pathing. This is now getting really dangerous.
Tabay!
YU.
Tabay! Nice, uncle!
Very diligent.
Ah,
Nice.
vamos! Boost your mentality, boys.
Together there, you're starting to see a little bit of that synergy shining.
And the composure as well.
Yo, ini sudah bagus.
This early
Timingnya.
round aggression. Able to peel away really
Kamera
quickly.
gua kenapa
Credit to
gini?
Forsaken. I think potentially something up towards Evan. There was a couple of people charging out, like you said, instantly pinged. Again, you can't really
Coba
fault
chat.
the approach here, but bold to stick a TP into the back lines.
And it got close, but I like seeing those fundamentals come together for PaperX though, right? Doubling up, even in that chaos of potential plant on towards that B side. No, they popped the ult, they still stayed very close. And credit to Divide, I know it's only one kill, but him catching YU basically keeps them safe. Otherwise, it's this kill right here from Divide. I find that to be the most
Nice.
imperative of them all. Very heads up work. Maybe feeling they'd have tried to have left a player behind, inserted a player. Still not fussed though, apparently. Still chilling.
I mean, you've got to be happy leading 4-2 here
Yeah.
on the attacking side as well. Back to the drawing board though here. Well, as close to a full purchase here as Lysol down on the Guardian. The Wolves, Forsaken actually tagged up there. I'm not sure if he's actually confirmed any damage on the side. of the
Aduh,
Wolves.
hancur.
Activity once more as well, and
Oh,
active clearance out past Mound.
this could be nasty. Actually, sees.
Mati!
Oh, it's perfect! Jay gets down
It's
two.
a 2 for 2.
How the hell did they get two?
Kok gak mati?
Could say almost
Waduh.
favouring PaperX in that regard, but something going to be played in here.
It's like that, this man
Wey.
hits those shots. Mechanically sharp as ever. Starting to read what they wanted. Similar scenes to before though. Fat BB and YU. Trying to work the map here. 2v3.
2 lawan 3 yuk, bisa yuk, menang yuk. Jangan ngetrol, jangan ngetrol.
Okay, testing.
Dah elah.
Okay, that.
Boys,
I mean, they're playing so
Uncle.
Mike, it scares the life out of me sometimes.
sabar uncle.
20 seconds and a 1v2 Divide and Forsaken.
Bro, nggak ada sisi Jason, nggak dengar cok.
Where are we off to now? 14 seconds. His options are
Smoke,
so
Jason.
limited.
10 seconds left.
Waduh,
They're both here.
waduh, 6
Surely
detik.
not. Yeah, he's got to go for it.
Ah,
Well
it's
handled
good.
by PaperX.
Well done, well done, well done, well done.
So you've got to look for that composure again, building up a little bit of a cushion in terms of the finances. That's where you look
Oh, dia
towards
pada di kanan cok.
some of these more sloppy kills towards the end of the round. Again, Jing
30 seconds
finding
left.
2 here to open.
One enemy
Beautiful
remain.
little trap piece outside B. Wolves actually going to be the ones to pump the brakes a little bit. I'm at round 8 again.
Langsung
Decent
tag.
Sample size, I guess, already in the first half here. Maybe a little bit of an adjustment.
Langsung
towards the
technical.
latter rounds. See, no purchase going to be available here for Wolves, so ideally looking towards round 9 here in terms of any game plan adjustment. And I guess actually in that regard, the first time PaperX have really been able to catch their breath.
It has been kind of in their face. Credit to PaperX for being able to learn on the fly. Again, this kind of like 6th and 7th round, obviously, have been the ones to give them the stability here. But I do want to see what the reaction is from Wolves. Again, it does feel like that almost no-go zone once you've got that Odin spam coming down. It's not as lethal as it could be. I mean, if you throw in a Viper with it, right? We've seen what that can do. But still, as it stands, it's kind of cut off those options towards A, it feels like, kind of pressuring back towards B, those C hits. But it's the re-aggresses from PaperX. Very little fear, even in those high-risk scenarios. We're a bit more used to it, I guess, at this point, and so will they be now. At 3 to 4, just Sheriffs. And a couple of classics.
I mean,
Plenty of ults.
bigger picture-wise, both of these teams have so many reps this year on Lotus. I think it's 14 for PaperX and 11 or 12 for Wolves.
Yeah.
So even here on the attacking half, I mean, if you come out with a lead, doesn't matter what it is, you've got to feel really good about yourself. So we'll have to ride this out on a handful of Sheriffs. Something going to tuck himself in between these smokes.
Oh, it's nasty. And Divide drawing all eyes on him. It is only pistols, but it's Divide's like that. Sorry, something. You don't even get to
Nice. Sharip.
Confidence builders there.
A little bit of a reset here in between ahead of this buy round, and actually we'll have the pit. See if Fat BB has his ultimate. Juicy just one away as well.
Hello, Uncle.
Of this setup.
Uncle habis kena boost penes ini.
Building some confidence here. Bit of a Cobra round for Divide, who's actually leading the border 10 and 4, an early 3K, I believe, in one of the rounds.
Ooh, look at this stack. They're in the right place here, Mike. How far do PaperX go in this? Deep flash. Look at this outrageous approach. Oh, it's been
Wait, what?
absolutely red. Jing gets backhanded there, and they couldn't close down on any of the kills.
I mean, 2 pings on the reveal. Not sure how much that box just sponged.
Panik
But
si
no
Jing
damage.
Face your fear.
Coming through, it's only really Fat BB who's taken a hit here down to 35 HP. Nightfall might actually be a bit of a red herring.
How much can Patman be expected to do here? That's a huge ult as well, right?
Has to basically hit the
And
panic
Forsaken,
button.
wait, Forsaken! Oh, they read it so smart. As soon as that Nightfall caught how many? 4 players?
Pinter sih.
Instantly went for it. Now,
Kan
not to
kan
be
budak ya.
Wolves, 2 heads up
Hati.
for that.
Tapi sayangnya udah ada
And the dust
kebaca.
hasn't even settled really, but the rotations are here. Device back over. He was solid before this nice high-low setup. Be very difficult to
Tapi
break.
sekalinya kena flash mati nih si
Not
Dapa
there,
Jo.
Paranoia ready. There it is. Forces them
Tuh
on.
kan.
Spring. They seem so prepared for these holds. They've seen Batman as well. Position
30
now given,
seconds
and
left.
look at YU.
Waduh, tikusnya udah lewat sini, Cok.
So nasty. And at this point, they want to pivot. They want to go back towards B. It does put in towards something's hand. Spring.
Wah.
It's gorgeous from Spring. Lurks on lurks, but something still stands. Caught in between a rock and a hard place. Where do they go? Back towards C. Safety on that
10
C
seconds
site. You don't fancy walking into something like this. So the plant's in, and he's left in a 1v4.
Di respect, Cuk. Kalau sing ngejar, Cuk. Sing ngejar masih
And on this
Toto.
go of this here, you can see on the X-ray, YU already wrapping him. He's got a turret here to
GG tadi
play
kena whips
contact
lagi.
off as well. Might even just be able to pop something in the back of the head. No. We'll get the sound cue regardless. I think now relaying that information. Yeah, that comes through.
God, his positioning.
Yeah, this is just, again, probably sitting back and watching this, Alex not going to be happy about this spray into the smoke with the audience. It's begging somebody to walk on it.
Yep.
And Spring just comes alive.
And
Itu
it
dapat
feels
dua,
like this
Cok.
was a whole book in one round, right? Chapter by chapter, at this beginning,
Paling
the
tembok
box
deh. Oh
apparently
iya,
being on
singitan
Wolves'
tembok.
side,
Cempet.
and then you had the TP coming in, you had the Nightfall coming out. This all happened. All of this was in the same round. And again, that Paranoia being just tilted up, it felt like they were so aware. There's the walk on the
Patman's on a
smoke.
reload. So Forsaken fully committed towards that. They're both spamming into this. I mean, there's an opportunity to potentially bait into that. One person sprays, but something
Terlalu maksa.
off rip here, round 10.
Timeout seeming to work well, at least for these early couple of exchanges, right? Something's want of space, him wanting to play towards bound is fine, but you've started to see how Wolves are approaching this.
You never see PaperX really relent in that
No,
regard.
no.
Bang, apa ini bang? Bang.
It will continue, and that's where they catch teams off guard, where it's like, yeah, your aggression
Surely
hasn't
now.
worked 4 rounds in a row. Now we're coming again.
Got the PRX playbook and they understand it well.
Wah, kelar.
Still got to handle the players on the
Oi!
other side. Great shot from
Oh, tapi udah
Batman.
dikeluarin,
It's
Jing.
traded. And the numbers simply so advantageous. A quick rotate off the back of once again, why use space?
It's always the one to backfill these sort of plays.
Ooh, tricky. Still not easy on this though, is it?
No.
It's Whoa! A shot!
Oi!
Come on! How is that fair? But look at one
No.
on the site.
Oh,
You know
my
where to
God.
be looking.
Oh, maka.
Slow and steady, he herds them closer. They need a plant though, 17 seconds, and why you on his walkabout.
Oi!
Your suffer hayward with the high hand.
Main apa?
Asian
Nonton
Candy.
mulu,
Yang
Bang.
gitu nih.
Match banger ini bang. Match super duper banger ini, menunjukkan siapa W team in Asia ini bu, in Asia ini, in the world ini guys. Very respect, thank you ya 10.000-nya guys. Makasih banyak. Nama tapi nama lu kenapa bokong dajal, mohon maaf nih.
It's similar thing. PaperX, they lose one, they stack up 3 to actively re-clear that space, and ultimately.
Tek, sudah waktunya Coach Alek, come on. Coach Alek dan Coach Aaron.
Now sitting at 11 and 5, leading the board for Wolves.
Wah, ini tim Wolves juga lagi garang-garangnya guys.
Execution are getting plenty of shots to the back of the head.
Oh yeah.
Momentumnya gak boleh dibawa lari.
Again, this kind of it feels like it came out.
Ingatku Lotus itu salah satu map terbaiknya PaperX teman.
They've clearly got
Dia kalah di sini, mentalnya udah pasti bisa.
Yeah, I mean, because they're reading it perfectly. That, again, this scenario.
Absen, siapa yang lagi nonton guys?
They know PaperX are going to re-clear. So there's going to be one, potentially 2 other lanes on the map that are totally open for YU to walk into.
It's very impressive to watch because PaperX are
yang nonton
really
welcome teman-teman, jangan lupa buat di like, di share juga biar rame ya guys ya.
Right, it makes perfect sense. Liquid Sen G2. I mean,
Aku pikir mainnya malam loh. Aku pikir mainnya kayak tengah malam gitu guys. Ternyata udah main pas jam segini. Ya walaupun sekarang udah tengah malam ya. Biasanya mainnya jam 2 kan, jam 2, jam 1.
Maybe just very ready for what PaperX like, understand their tendencies.
Prepared, yes, but actually refining some of the things that we've seen them adapt here in Toronto, which is actually what's so refreshing to see again on a dream run like this, an underdog dark horse, but actually
jadi tim underdog
game
guys.
by game.
Tim yang bener-bener
Upsets along the way,
underdog
sure,
tapi langsung
actually
gitu
show
loh,
they've got their head screwed on.
Yeah. It's very impressive. Now for PaperX,
Ulangin
once again you kind of
juga
go
kan,
into the archives, right? As much as
momentumnya
everyone likes
lagi
to look at
di
these guys
ini
as
tim.
underdogs,
Tapi
they
kalau
have to
PaperX sampai
rebuild.
kalah
That
lagi
is
sih
true.
so sad
Bringing
sih
Patman
guys.
was fantastic. It worked. We've all seen the difference in their playstyle as of late. They're starting to look much better overall. But these guys have sat in finals. These guys have been in Champions finals. They know what this sort of pressure's like. They are never going to be the underdogs in my mind. They're too talented for it. So as it stands, they need to adapt here.
So what's happened here as well, PaperX have already drawn
something
the
udah
play
mulai tuh.
across. I mean, Divine now reconsidering, but Spring looking to pressure up towards
Tipis-tipis
Tree.
gak sih? Oh ditutup.
Divine again, counter 3, almost caught one here.
Ting!
Again, shows presence on the other side. So ice towards the minimap, look what happens. Immediately PaperX
Baru, gak apa.
looking to isolate the weaker side of this default, but they pick up the pace towards A.
I like the intention, actually, I really do. But
Nice!
the stall
Aduh,
was
langsung di-trap.
fantastic from PaperX. Denying that space being taken freely. They're here quickly, pop up the ult from something. Information galore in 25 seconds. We are now at pressure stations. Forsaken down on 30, has to respect the paint shell. A spray through the smoke here doesn't land, but something does. They're dwindling in numbers. Sufat, BD and Spring, the last 2 standing, and they are cornered here. This adjustment from PaperX. Divine! Stunning from them, they worked it so well.
Now that is a beautiful recovery, considering what happened elsewhere. It was paranoia, showstopper, so much thrown towards
Itu
YU.
dia, El
And in
something.
that situation, Wolves just kind of need to go,
Tapi sumpah, ini
1
trade-nya
for 2
sih
in
cepet
terms
banget
of
sih, guys.
approaching A site. They do that, PaperX still come back.
One enemy.
This is really nice of PaperX. Again, even seeing that discipline start to an extent, right? That dose of discipline at the beginning, the second contact's made.
A sprinkle of discipline.
As much as we're going to get. That's as much as we're going to get. But honestly, I like that though. And again, those quick rotations, starting to read what Wolves are doing, identifying where he was. And yeah, the trap was there, but even those rotations coming in so quick. Back into the mix of things. A buy for both sides, still lacking for some areas on PaperX's side. You're going to see that Guardian still in the hands of Divide. And a stack up from Wolves. And on the other side, Forsaken, not too far.
Oh, Jason!
And a wanted punish. You can see they're starting to read this maybe mound pressure, trying to maybe toy with those expectations off of that fade utility.
They kind of know Forsaken's the key stakeholder in terms of those set pieces outside C. Try to shut him down here. Again, beautiful read or assessment, I guess, of the previous situation.
And some people may look at these two teams and see them as just those mechanical monsters, but this is a really cerebral game so far.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Seeing these rotations on rotations, these adjustments. Oh, Spring almost. And now a moment of quiet here.
That could slow things down potentially.
Yeah, they're not
Langsung di
going
ulti,
to
seharusnya
kind of
nge-plan di
retake, I
ulti.
guess.
Masih dapai.
The plant's going to come
Nah,
in.
kan?
Now this should encourage movement here. Just going to kind of eat the Prowler, still close range, still able to use the shorty just fine. Weapons
Oh.
are right, and the Knight's not ready. So a 3v3 in the
3v3?
post. Look at the position from YU. That is, excuse me, coming in from CFAT BB. He is still on the way, but they've still got to slow things down. YU does well. Lightsaw still has to hold ground here, and now the silence becomes...
Sabar guys, Garuda belakang guys.
They don't know where he is, but
Nice.
they're going to hazard a guess. CFAT BB does well on one.
Pet.
Draws to buy off the defuse, just needs to keep his cool here.
Ooh.
Bring them down.
This would be everything for him, trying to play to the time, play to the tempo, play to the clock, and play him like a fair dog.
Ah, tidak. IGL versus IGL-nya kalah, guys.
Time again. Looks so composed in the clutch. It closes out
Ini dibikin
7-5
mainan,
half
Cok.
here, Lord. Fantastic stuff from Wolves.
This has been an exceptional game so far, just brilliant from both sides. And again, on surface, you may have thought, it's not going to be this, really cerebral matchup. This has been a wondrous affair.
Enemy.
It really has.
Dia ngapain lihat sana
Any
ya?
sort of taster here towards the second half. Don't go anywhere, we'll find out very
Yeah,
shortly.
we will, because we do have
Ngapain
a
dia
bit
lihat
of a treat
sana ya,
as well
guys?
coming up.
Ngapain
We
dia
have
lihat Kif ya?
Ronnie Mixwell standing by for us. So that'll be where we're going to in just a second. So I can't wait to hear from him. He's been in these scenarios. Let's see how that feels from the other side.
Tapi di BT emang udah paling gak enak sih guys kalau
Well,
retake.
one of the perks of being here live during finals weekend
kalau
is being
retake
able
apa?
to run into
Nge-defuse.
legends such as
Hanya
Mixwell,
mesti
who's
dilihat.
streaming here from the venue
Amen,
now.
Cave,
Welcome back to
Heaven,
Canada. You've been here before. What do you think
Healing.
about the crowd
Ada
so
banget.
far?
I think the crowd is one of the loudest I've ever seen, to be honest. I traveled to a lot of tournaments in VCT. So,
Lu
Great
belum
job.
pernah datang ke
It's
Ascension
very exciting
Indonesia
to be among
Jakarta.
them now.
Yeah.
You have a little bet
Lu
when it
belum
comes to
tahu
Wolves.
aja
Can you explain
crowd
it to
Indonesia,
everybody
bre.
what happens if Wolves win
Pakai
this
segala
event?
bilang crowd
I
paling
wasn't
kencang
familiar with their
gitu.
game. At the start of the tournament, I said that if Wolves wins the event, I'm gonna go bold. So now I'm afraid I
Ada
need
jinx.
PRX to win today, please.
Ada jinx guys, ada jinx.
Toronto,
Thank you.
what are the chances do you think of him going bold? Come on, are Wolves going to win this event? Oh, it's not looking good for you, Mixwell. It's not looking good. Now, some of the players
Ada
on
jinx,
stage,
guys.
we've really seen their personality. Sufat, BB, Forsaken, they're on their feet. They're hyping up the crowd. As a former player who also enjoys that atmosphere, how important is it to have that hype man on your team?
I think it's really important, especially when they are down. Some games, Wolves were down and Sufat brought Juicy back, for example. And I think it's crucial. I think that you have to play with the crowd, you have to enjoy the moment, you have to be in the moment. And Wolves, especially, they are enjoying it a lot. And a lot of people want to cheer for them as well because of that energy. And now I like them. Even though I might go bold, I like them.
All right, we shall see. I hope you do go bold at the end of this event. Thank you very much, Mixwell, for joining me. And let's see if PaperX can maybe save him in the second half.
The one thing I will absolutely agree with is this crowd has been amazing. For both teams as well.
But the second thing I will say is actually referencing back something we were talking about in the cast the other day. We do see the econ report here from Coinbase. Again, very evenly contested first half here. Why are you the ones to really pull ahead here for Wolves, but also Divide on the other side of things.
Yep.
But just to come back to that same point, again, the resilience. Juicy the other day, an absolute stinker of a first half.
Yeah, really
But
struggled.
again, the vibes never changed on stage. You could see maybe hints of frustration coming through, but that's where players like Sufab BB really pay dividends in terms of a team's mental.
I mean, we talk about the sixth man, right? Being that crowd behind you to get you
75,
back
guys.
going.
You almost need a conductor actually from the stage to be able to actually channel that back into getting a team back online, and Wolves certainly have tapped into that here in Toronto.
All right, PaperX now on the attack, 5-7.
Oi!
Divine headliner, a big player in
Apa
big
itu, Uncle?
games too. Don't forget
Oi!
what this man can do. 3 pivotal kills and a stark reminder.
Uncle, sabar dulu,
who
Uncle.
PaperX can be.
We dictate the pace now. You can't sit back in the default. We'll bring the fight to you. Now, why you in spring?
Aduh, gagal
Just one you
ace.
left now in a 1v5. An ace needed. The Jin gonna shut down any hope of recovery.
Good flawless, good flawless.
Kicking off the second half with a
Mental boost,
flawless
mental boost.
round victory.
And you're right, I think what you said.
Dang,
Controlling
dang.
that tempo.
Kayak flashnya si
Making
GG
their
sih.
fights their own. Hard to handle on all occasions.
Tuh gue udah ngantuk
PaperX
guys.
Dial into that.
Udah lama gue
Really,
gak
I guess
melek malam
Glasses
gini teman-teman.
before of Wolves to kind of stabilize a little bit in the second half and really get to grips with what their opponent's going to try and achieve here. Is again, no secrets on the way in from PaperX.
Ambil gak sitting?
Stack misplaced here, so your second successful approach towards A. Hopefully.
Berarti mereka satunya killjoy doang ya?
And I getting looked towards Devi here, 2 away from his ult so early on. I mean, that could be there for the bonus, right?
Pusing, ngeplan.
It was like, yeah, his third 3K or something.
One
The
off
map
now.
so far.
Udah mati sama bom. Alah, mati sama bom guys.
Have in the back pocket. Some
Si Balsik ya. Udah ganti YouTube. Twitch kenapa ya belakangan ini kayak gini guys? Serius.
something that Wolves
Yeah,
will have to deal with.
coming to your first buy round, to have that ultimate available is brutal. Wow,
Guys,
a response found.
easy, Tiger. We shouldn't get more dangerous than this.
No!
Stop it. Stop it. Jing and Forsaken, keep this. Come on, Forsaken, surely you keep this safe. Backpedaling away, trying to play the time now. This should never have been this close. See that-
Oh, mengerikan. Ya Allah, pistol rod lo guys. Kenapa kau bisa kalah, Jing? Saat
Come down to a Red Bull clutch here. Just
hampir
one
kalah,
rifle
cok.
retained. Now you almost
Oh, udah
relying on
godek.
the
Coach Alek udah guys.
turning point here. But PaperX are able to get the purchase
Mati
together.
kenapa,
Jing
cok?
can't judge, but
Ya Allah.
I saw finding so much value here. Jing.
Okay.
Coach Alek pusing palanya guys. Minum oskadon dulu bang.
Get the heart rate monitors out next time. Now, again, keep in mind they do have Devi's ult here. So this is something you've got to see them build around, be aware of.
Keburu.
Quick little pain shot to try and maybe delay.
Jelek keburu.
I mean, Wolves are just perfect
Buset,
for this.
utility-nya
That's here.
anjing.
Yes. Entry found, but it's a full 5v5 in the post.
Sketchy timing on this.
Ya, lu
It
kan
looks like
jadi
someone
ketahuan.
wants to try and hold this back. They're willing to try and brawl on the site. They're not sitting deep at all here. Something wants to draw blood. PRX still standing by.
Hey, something away.
And now there's an opportunity. PRX.
Oh, JJ save the day kah? JJ save the day kah?
You know he'll give you a couple here.
JJ save the day kah?
From him. Now down in the 1v2. Incredibly difficult for Sufat BB.
Brrr.
Not gonna happen. Jinx got
Nice JJ, you save the day.
way long.
The tempo shift here on the half.
Bocil ini
certainly
masih sakit ya, bocil ini
suiting
tadi guys.
PaperX. Now on to the good 8 to
Pop,
7
pop, pop.
scoreline.
Sekali lagi,
This
pop.
judge up close and personal.
Kelo JJ. Woi, JJ dah.
Jing on the round for him.
Ini guys.
Good progress towards the showstopper as well. Gonna potentially, what should, by all rights, have that for the next buy round here.
Gelo, GC save dia guys.
Down on a bit of a Shiko. No ultimates to their name. I mean, Siu Fat BB the closest, and well, actually, Lysor one away from the TP, but not necessarily too impactful.
Aduh! Wah, something lagi off dia sih.
And that's a recoverable weapon. No one else is here. So the game should be given away to an extent. Obviously now,
Ya GC lagi, dia kayak lagi off dia sih guys.
but it's hard to hold this back, right? It's a flood of players.
Ya, TB kemana lu bang?
Don't worry, we didn't see it.
We
didn't see it.
All good, all good.
Bahaya tapi ini guys, udah nggak punya space dia.
Can still get a little bit scary. And now Juicy does have that Vandal, right? Can they play him in?
Pet, jangan mati Pet. Oke Pet.
Well, I mean, he's got 4 sheriffs basically to rally behind here and try
Smoke, ada nggak smoke?
rifle work.
Pet, lu nggak boleh mati Pet. Ah elah.
Gonna have to do work here. See if BB does well. Divider.
Woi! Wow! Shit!
I told you before. This man is a big player in big.
Gelo the goat, uncle.
Hell of a lot of impact.
Today lu gila uncle.
Blink and you miss it.
Gila anjing.
One of the quickest aces I think we've probably ever seen.
Gelo. Deng, lihat belakang, Deng. Balik lagi. Ter. Kalma.
That is just
Kalma.
beautiful to watch back.
Kenapa?
He's going through it.
It's good.
They're
Happy
getting close, Wolves, right? They're getting close on these rounds, getting a little bit scary. But the scoreline looking good for PaperX. 9-7, a bye back in hand for Wolves, though. They have to stop the rot fast.
Okay, ulti udah ready.
This could be the round to find that response. But I can see you Fat BB's ultimate.
Gelo anjing, apa-apaan tadi?
Round obviously retrieve the orb outside C. There's a bit of a gap here with Forsaken, the solo anchor towards A. Obviously, possibility here. Batman and second player actually to come across fairly quickly, but
Well, here comes the test. Batman. I don't know if that's going to reach. It does, so Lysor will be noted. Draws the paranoia. Okay, counter on counter. They can't hear a thing here. Divide, though, unaffected, unfazed. 35 seconds getting close now. The paranoia burnt early, and Lysor needs to be ready. This is a lot of pressure coming his way. You're going to hear the ults coming out to secure the block, but Lysor still does the damage.
Nice.
Can't do the dance, though, with Force.
Hey!
And that's a beautiful catch from CFAT BB, punishing Jing on the push-up. And now the plant gets hindered. Problems now mounted. Spring at the door, and now it's just on Defy. Position noted earlier, they should be aware. But this man's dangerous, but not today. Spring's got his number. And Wolves back within touching distance.
we said we needed them to find a response here.
Agak awkward sih dari posisi
Finally,
guys.
stop that string of rounds.
Mereka nggak ada yang
It's
ngecek
costly here on
main,
both
mereka
sides.
masuk source, masuk
Showstopper
three
shut
semua.
down here from Jing, desperate to try and convert.
Shoot the recon.
It's broken the money from PaperX too.
Yeah, it has,
See
yeah,
how
I mean,
close these rounds have been.
It's not necessarily been a walk in the park for that string of rounds, but Jing looking to put this rifle to work. Start of round 18.
He's had a feel-good round not too long ago.
Waduh.
TTP sets up!
Oh, it's so sick! You think Wolves are just another team? They're certainly not very
senjatanya
ready for what
kebuang tuh.
PaperX wanted to bring. Forsaken picking up what feels like the cursed rifle at this point. It's dropping hand to hand. Divided well last time in a scenario not too dissimilar to this, but not be able to get it this time. Yeah, handled. Wolves fully ready.
Something just walking into a blender. Was it both Nano
Something belum panas ini.
The alarm bot was there as well.
Yeah.
Ya something tadi kamu berdiri bang. Berdiri lagi
There
nih bang.
was yet a second is here.
Kasian
really.
toh.
God.
And actually, yeah, I didn't even, yeah, Jing's forced into the line of sight as well, so
One enemy.
great little setup here from Wolves will actually get them a second round. Force a timeout as well from PaperX.
Coba nih orang energinya boleh-boleh sih guys.
So we'll be required to stand on their own 2 feet now for the remainder.
Mereka
9-9 the scoreline.
I just keep thinking, oh, okay, PaperX back to that 4 in the row. You start to have Jing popping off. You've had Divide do it, acing out. It looked good. But then these last 2, Wolves never feel like they look like they're under pressure. It's always possible with them. That nice little setup, the last 2 rounds, very considered.
Find themselves in a really good position actually here in terms of defensive ultimates. They got 1 away from the lockdown. Springs 1 off the pit.
Oh, true, yeah.
2 more for Juicy to find the showstopper. I mean, yes, options on the side of PaperX, but in terms of this defensive ult cycle, gotta feel really, really good about themselves. Again, even with that string of rounds now, look at what's in the bank for PaperX. What's behind this purchase? Now, even here a broken purchase, if you look at some of the shields.
Banyak gerak bu. Ting. Pipet juga belum panas.
This was the one from the timeout, right? This is one with the plan in mind for PaperX. Last check-in with the coaching staff, unless we get OT.
Wolves getting a little active here as well,
Hey,
actually.
off the back of a timeout, why not? A traditional reaction. Is PaperX aware? Something. There's 3 players in that smoke. You may think there's 1, but will he expect all?
Lumayan dapat
quick
1.
enough to find 1. Great paranoia from Forsaken as well.
Lah.
Do they try and go on the hunt
Nyantol.
for this? Oh, the TP's lovely. Big investment on that, but I like the idea behind it, taking a lot of space. But look at towards the
staying.
site.
Bang, cek dulu bang.
Juicy's still standing here, pops the ult, plays it well. Oh, catching Jing mid-air. You can't get
Walah
away from him.
cok.
Brought back to life before from CUBB, and now he's standing on his own 2 feet.
Di sini pemain Thailand nggak sih? Apa Bleed ya?
All on his own. Surrounded, and he doesn't even know it. You thought that TP might have cut right through him, it didn't. The Wolves still standing together, fighting together. Divide does what he can, putting up the stand. The Wolves taking the
Sumpah
lead.
Juicy ini saya ingat pemain Bleed guys. Pindah ke sini dia ternyata.
Executed to perfection here. Again, a crucial trade from Juicy, but then to find the second, the showstopper comes through, that splash damage. I can't believe that even catches on Jing. Outrageous scenes here.
Are you starting to believe now? The way this half started, I thought it was going to go kind of path towards right,
Eko
what you'd
guys.
expect. The Wolves once again proving they are lethal about their business. So we go again. Money not looking good for PaperX. It's Stingers, it's a Sheriff, it's a Bulldog. Brought together from the bargain bin basically here. Can they make something with it? Ooh, a little bit of chip on the way. Position now noted. Super BB on the site here. Still got C's and his Prowlers, but they are faster. This Lights all caught sleeping. Not expecting the pace. Juicy a wild play through the smoke. Gonna find 2, but Spring's now here. It gets a bit messy, but it's working out at least for now in Wolves' side.
Not great here for Patman though.
Oh, do you really go for that?
Dia bingung cok. Si Pet lagi
Feel
off.
safe to just stick the plant out, so they're waiting for something. Does have the ultimate here, but again, the 2v3 doesn't feel good.
And that chip on Patman too, they're starting to feel it. Something's going to have to go nuclear. Try and save the day, but none of these fights, these engagements are fair for him.
Pet lagi bener-bener off day cok.
Even Patman with 21 HP and not a prayer to be had. Wolves again
Pet
now,
bener-bener off day guys.
by round, taking this away from PaperX.
They hit 11 here.
Udah nggak ada taktikal lagi.
This is
God.
getting into some really awkward territory now. You can see there's effectively a force up here.
Pipet malah jaga belakang cok.
Ultimates are plenty. Talking about some of those defensive ultimates here for Wolves. See how it lies here for PaperX. This is going to take up the lion's share. Obviously, the round loss bonus is going to be a consideration, but could potentially face Wolves here on map point on a broken buy.
On PaperX's map choice.
Yeah.
Gila, skor yang sangat indah.
It all starts to compound.
Maksudnya
but they're
indah
not
dalam artian mau
there
menang,
yet.
guys.
4 in a row, unanswered. Ult starting to build, money looking solid. We're going to need a Paper X round. Going to need someone to step up, and it looks like something wants to try and trailblaze his way forward. Good info. 2 spotted, and the rest now filling behind that.
So whether or not they were trying to set up for potentially a paranoia there.
Oh, the paranoia was
Wah.
but it doesn't quite juicy. Still standing, still breathing. Forsaken going to find the trade out towards lights.
Nice.
Nice from Paper X.
Extra.
Unwilling to relent on
If
the
itu.
site now. Spring and what? Oh
Aduh.
my God, what a shot.
Nice.
Get the second. Forsaken wants this.
1v3, 1v3. No way we lose this chat.
1v3.
Aduh ada ulti, tapi nggak pengen dikeluarin sih guys. Orang gila kalau ngeluarin ulti 1 lawan 3.
For Paper X. Jump spot towards street, that's from Divide. Time's been bought, couldn't get the punish fast enough. And now they know the position. The cross should be the death of YU. I say should.
Flash.
Yeah, they're not giving him an inch here. Very well handled by Paper X in the end. They had to keep their cool there.
Almost a lifeline here in terms of the bigger picture. Brings it within 1. Not allowing Wolves to really sit back on their laurels and rely on these ultimates. Getting so sloppy on that first kill. The paranoia almost setting things in motion, but Forsaken just...
Heroics there.
Yeah, just absolutely bulldozing his way onto site.
Those were your last words.
Wolves at late timeout in the half in the map. Round 22. Comfortable financially. So he's still got those ultimates actually building back towards Juicy and Fat BBs. Almost a stacked deck here in terms of this cycle.
Yeah, it starts looking a bit scary, and that Jing's 2 away from his. Forsaken 1 off and 2 away from Patman's, but as I said, this feels like we're getting really...
Well, again, you think about it as well, if you don't invest these ultimates early on, you never really get a clean 5v5 retake versus Paper X, because they'll find a plant, but they'll also, more often than not, push towards spawn, try and find a kill, weaken that setup. So if Wolves do have any kind of set pieces around these ultimates, you're really looking towards Spring and YU to mitigate that risk and sit deep enough where
Kencangan sama pengaman dulu kawan-kawan.
not really going to be able to rely on it too much, but said Paper X, they're a team that reads into that sort of thing so well.
I'm probably going to see a paint shell. I imagine maybe a C's perhaps, who knows, but you're seeing the way that Paper X want to pass.
Well, first time actually the stars align for a fight towards Rubble here.
God, this could be right off the rip. Here we go. Already paint shell comes in, C's not going to find it.
Oh, nice recon anjing.
Juicy going to go down, Forsaken doubling in.
Dapat 2, lumayan, dapat 2 buat tukar 1. Tapi masalahnya smoker anjing yang hilang.
Paper X aren't stopping. They want the site.
Nice flash, nice flash. Nice flash.
Almost singular in
Good utility guys.
banking on
Gila
themselves.
di smoke, di recon maju jingnya.
A
Gila sih.
haymaker thrown from
Good.
Paper X and it lands once more. Similar to those early rounds we did see in the second half.
Nice.
This shouldn't be possible.
Oi, boys. Boys.
Shouldn't be possible.
Ooh.
But it isn't. Something in the end to add the full stop to that sentence. But it is 11-11, Mike. Paper X have found what they needed. But it's getting close here. The money's still in place for Wolves. And you're looking at those ults, they become such a heavy factor, but this reveal was everything.
Lysor, unfortunately, still in the committed position. Fat BB, unfortunately, I guess, just caught off guard by the flash. Tried to turn it, but...
Pet ngapain lompat-lompat, anjay.
3 more members of Paper X staring you down. Paper X maybe feel as if they found the recipe here. Slower approach this time around. No resistance shown early on, at least, from Wolves. This is both YU and Spring, though. Spring continue pushing forwards. Might even catch Divine Spawn.
Trying to sell this fake, but Divide completely unawares. They hadn't seen this sort of look before. But if anything, it encourages his approach towards A now.
Team does have the showstopper as well, though.
Yeah, this is going to get tense. Both players stuck on the back of the side now. Ready for the swing, but not ready for the shot. Lights or handles Forsaken. Ready for the pop. Jinx landed it. 3v3 now. Tension rising. something holding the push through the door on the other side now. Rewarded. Nice from him. Man advantage.
Sabar dulu,
and
JJ.
one next on the cards.
See the lockdown invested here. It's a 2v3. The response
Aduh,
comes
berat
through
ini, Cok.
from Pac-Man, but PaperX are going to fight this. Wayu's found one.
Yeah, beautiful from him. They've got to react to it now. Something.
No, something.
Jing, what do you do?
He's caught.
What do you do?
They can just stick it.
Yeah. I can't believe it. Wayu just has to hold guard. And for Jing, he just has to stand back and watch as the 12 gets taken away.
Something.
In the final hour of regulation, Wolves take the lead.
See here, the purchase going to
Something
be
tadi cuma dapat satu, udah lumayan.
rough
bagus,
for
Cok.
Wolves,
Nggak
but
dapat
they
sama
find their
sekali.
response finally.
Ente
Finding
sih.
the opportunity to invest the lockdown. I mean, it's another situation where you just see Forsaken again, just digging so deep. Jing hitting the drive-by as well. Zach killed one with the follow-up.
Apa dia nggak lari lewat tri ya? Si Pet ya?
One ultimately that can bail Jing out in that situation. They're coming into this though. Wolves still have a pit, still have a showstopper. Big tools to work with here in round 24. The moment of silence will drop. PaperX poised now.
Cover going out.
Once again, it's like actually a big info there. Catch him drifting away here, not necessarily looking committed. It being Jing, obviously, the tip of the spear on some of these set pieces, but PaperX are actually going to contact up.
Nggak bisa petik.
It all
Dia pasti
feels
di-lock.
like the calm before the storm.
Wolves almost scratching their heads here. They invest the pit over, expecting maybe that with that information, PaperX are rotating towards C.
There's the info, but are you ready for the hit? How do you play it for Lysor? Oh my god, he's going for the heroics. Oh! He went for the heroics and it worked out for
nice
one.
red.
Not going to get his seconds. PaperX now finds stability on the site. Into the post plant.
4v4.
Something playing a little further ahead. He wants a one and done and back away. No one's given him that yet though. And the time ticking for PaperX here. This is good for them. Still ults in play though. Juicy has his. You've heard that invested.
Nice.
Flies on the site, but something does well. Gets one back to showstopper.
Hey, something. What the fuck?
Something lost and a trade for Spring. It's into a 2v2. It ain't over yet. You're looking at the post plant for Devi and Jing here. Can they hold on to this? Pain Shell posted by some seconds. They needed to
Nice.
stay alive. Devi digging deep, and they're not dead yet.
Whoa.
Yeah, you should have killed them when you had a chance. PaperX bringing it back
Anjing,
to
bikin
12
adrenalin
apiece.
naik bangsat.
Of course, we see overtime here on the first map of this series.
First map udah overtime bangsat.
Insane exchange here throughout the second half. And PaperX is showing a brazen approach.
No fear.
They're almost their trademark.
Lah ya, kok nggak kelihatan ya si something dia. Salah guys. Kita lihat POP-nya something ya. Nggak kelihatan guys.
To the challenge approach.
No fear.
Oh, kepanteran kah?
PaperX is showing a brazen approach.
No fear.
Iya, cok kepanteran.
Almost their trademark now, but back onto the attacking side.
Pet, jangan ragu, Pet.
Critical on this. They've read it. They've read it really well here.
Same piece we've seen previously.
And it worked out well for a 2-2 trade in the end, but this time...
Nice, dapat 2, good job boys.
They're not going to let them even have a chance into this. Denied from the very word go. And Wolves want back in. They're taking the fight.
Satu lagi.
Can't do that. PaperX
Cukup, gak jadi. Udah cukup, pulang.
They should find stability, Mike.
3v4, sorry.
They're unwilling to back away. They don't want to go
They're
elsewhere.
expecting PaperX to rotate away from this and give up the space, but PaperX reading this perfectly. Still got both extremities controlled as well, so
It's so difficult. They need a freebie. They need something.
Nice.
And it ain't happening. PaperX looking sharp here.
Vamos.
Right read, right place, right shots.
draw first blood. This set piece once more. On the back of the C's nade. This time around, no casualties, no trade found. Able to stick the landing.
Loh? Apa lagi? Yang celentong lagi. Gak bisa lah ya. Miku sono kan guys.
Call a timeout
Halo
here.
halo aman ya. Aman ya.
The second round in overtime.
So impressed by PaperX's mental here though, because they've been put through the ringer on this. Again, it's pressure on them more than anything, right? If you're Wolves, you've already done more than expected.
In fine form today.
Dia cosplay apa guys?
But yeah, again, usually with Wolves, you'd be talking about, you know, this unknown quantity
Yeah,
and
chocolate
you know,
juicy
hard to win,
blade,
stuff like that. The fact that we're talking about actually there is some familiarity between these two teams, it makes it a little bit more interesting because we've seen kind of counters to both approaches.
Yeah.
PaperX showing they're able to dismantle those defaults, and Wolves also looking as if they're very adept at dealing with early round aggression. And I'm with you on that one.
Again, you look at PaperX, they are a legacy team here, right? And they have that one destination in mind, that final stop. The Wolves standing in their way of that grand final. And it's down to the wire between these two. So we go again. Similar scenes, it looks like, right? It almost looks like rinse and repeat, but Jing this time is fast. Ooh,
Nice!
let's get it. Lysor has gone down. It looked a little labored, but YU swings in. Oh!
Nice!
Second!
Waduh.
Hold on, PaperX. Held back here now.
Spike just behind the wall as well. Not necessarily a comfortable push out here.
Tapi kalau mesti ngambil spike-nya.
Control. Yeah, Divine and Forsaken. Will be given an opportunity to reset a little bit here, but find themselves in a 2v3.
Oh, I thought they were leaving Devi there. God.
Ben aman aja nggak sih?
No paranoia. Going to be a little gap on a follow-up smoke here. Plant comes through. Juicy still got satchels. Spring still with a snake bite, so a couple of tools here at Wolves' disposal.
Oh, it's so tense now. You're going to need someone to over-deliver.
Nice!
PaperX taking deep, and Spring can't stand. PaperX, it took
Itu dia PaperX yang kita kenal. Good job.
holding strong on map 1.
Hello, uncle. Kalma, uncle.
Hey, this standing pistol round, huh?
Why you never stand up?
Dude, he's legit NPC full, they should take it.
Boleh. Sampai lah ini guys. Ntar guys, minum dulu, ambil minum ya. Sabar. Gelo, ngeri kali. Hari ini.
Let me show you how to fuck stuff. Oh man, I was just getting warmed up.
Spike defused.
One thing. Oh, anjing. Ini match emang seru banget buat tonton.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Karena kedua tim nih benar-benar tim yang di Wolf-nya juga like Pamornya lagi tinggi juga guys, momentumnya lagi di dia. Paper X sudah gede. Notabene lagi
Make sure you get your snacks, drinks, and bio breaks in. Or if you're like me, send in your Yoru clones instead to do the job. Let's get ready. Where are you going, Yoru? What do you see?
Worth it.
We're going straight to the left. Oh, okay. Good form here. Good form. Don't shoot the clone. Are you running into a wall? Got the pistol out too on top of that.
Kawan Fnatic. Aku nggak tahu kayaknya bakal menang G2 sih guys. Kalau yang second match ya. Kira satu berkata G2 bakal menang. Ya Fnatic. Nggak tahu sih. Kayak apa ya? Menurutku G2 masih quiet strong. Stronger. Kalau yang match satu ini yang seru karena ya tadi yang satu lagi tingginya ya kan, satu ini lagi udah menemukan apa ya, udah nemuin missing puzzle-nya Rapper. Itu dikit. Harusnya gua stay aja ya, stay di Discord ya.
What an exciting way to start Masters Toronto here today. I'm now joined by PaperX's coach Alex. Now, everybody credits Wolves as a team that has a lot of structure. How did you and your boys manage to find those gaps on Lotus?
I think it was a very close affair. I honestly didn't think they gave many gaps. We knew what they were doing, but I think we could have done it better. We did a lot of research. I mean, they have a lot of research on Lotus, so it helped a lot.
Nice counter-strike there, coach. Good luck on map 2.
Oh boy, choo-choo, because the train ain't stopping. As PaperX managed to pick up the win, 14-12 going into the OT there, and one has to wonder, does Wolves have what it takes to be able to force that map 3? Now, for that though, let's actually take a look at our Verizon high-speed moment. We got to give this one to YU because there were some great plays in this one, but Mimi, this one in particular shined through.
Yeah, and this is more about the round as a whole because I think this starts so well for PaperX. Something they did great on their defense was these active trap plays. In this one, they get 2 picks, but then in classic PaperX fashion, I think end up overstaying their welcome just a little bit. They lose 2 players there, and then Wolves, after getting this nice double from YU, flicking up to the player on the off angle, Wolves goes on to win this round. And it was rounds like this, the ones that started strong for PaperX, that Wolves bounced back, that made it look like Wolves was gonna take this game away in that first half pair.
I love the balance also of having Spring being more the one that is going to push from the defense and YU being the one that was in the lurks in this first half of Lotus. But in the end, somehow, even with them losing these advantages and whatnot, PaperX manages to get back on the the board and secure the map.
It's funny because they got theirs back. They gave away some advantages in the first half, but they were the ones winning a lot of clutches. They were the ones bringing it back in the second to push us all the way to OT. That's what you know this PaperX team for.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there are so many good things to talk about with this PaperX team. One individual in particular, got to give it to the man himself, Divide. We saw some wild plays. This one in particular was nuts, because my guy just walked out there, not a care in the world, Cook was like, you know what, hold this L with the sheriff. Pop, pop, got 2 out of the break.
So many 3Ks, so many very high impact kills that he had. He even got an ace, even though Alex's reaction was not showing that he got an ace, but it was this is one of the disadvantages that they won, and one of the reasons that PaperX was able to secure this map in so many occasions was thanks to Divide's performance.
After PaperX's failures earlier in this year, missing out on Bangkok, having the rough start to stage 1, a lot of fans were calling for Divide's head when they were asking for roster changes. They were saying that he should get dropped, they should find someone new, but I think he's really proved himself in this tournament now, stepping up in some of these later games, showing us the Divide that we've known has been so strong since all the way back at tournaments like Masters Copenhagen, where this team has made finals before.
Yeah, well, of course, a lot of pressure, though, on the other side of the stage for the Wolves as they're facing a potential trip to the lower bracket if they lose this next map. Let's actually go ahead and check in with Coach Fade to hear what he has to think as we get ready for that one.
I'm now joined by Coach Fade from Wolves. Now, this is the first map you've lost this tournament since that Sentinel series. What was the focal point in your team talk before map 2? And is there any concern around stamina if this series goes the distance?
I think we kind of show like nerves once again towards the end of first map. And I think stamina shouldn't be an issue because we had a 3 days break previously. So I think we will be fine.
I hope so. Thank you very much for your time.
All right, and there you see the results that you heard as well. Like, they feel good about their stamina for the Wolves, but a 14-12, that has to sting for them as they get ready for map 2, Mimi.
For sure, especially, Bea, like you were mentioning, this is a team that has not lost a map since the series they dropped to open Toronto against Sentinels. They have been on a non-stop roll up to this point, but now having to go all the way to 3 if they want to make it into the final here.
Oh, but there's such good maps for the side of Wolves.
For
now we're about to jump into Ascent, and we're going to see something for everybody that enjoys the map that we don't usually see. Is one team on one hand, we expect them to be playing with the Viper, right? Double controller, and on the other side, a double Sentinel with the Deadlock. That is, of course, if we do not see any changes. I think that we were highlighting how well Wolves was doing from their attack with those executes, how good the utility from Lysar is in that agent.
I really like their Deadlock, in particular on the attacking side. It's another map where they play super slow, just like you were watching on Lotus. But what they do well here is putting down their Sentinel utility on space they take, then resetting as a team and clearing elsewhere. So they're kind of putting down these little checkpoints to save parts of the map they have, and then being able to call back into that really late. I think a lot of teams miss out on those little details with juggling the Sentinel utility. They're great there. It's the same on defense. To me, this feels like a really strong map for Wolves to bounce back.
Yeah. I like the way they chop up the map, right? And really give themselves, like you said, a lot of these openings. The thing is, though, is that we have seen now a couple times PaperX kind of feed the beast one too many times here. And I think with Deadlock and the way that this team can play this one, Mimi, this could be quite problematic for them if they're not careful and checking their P's and Q's.
For sure, yeah. They have to be on point with taking calculated risks, but it definitely paid off in the first game here. Let's take a look at the comps, and PaperX locking in that Jet for something now.
Oh, they're going back to something, you know, more standard in this case. They've moved away from the Gecko and the Raze. I had a feeling that was going to happen, but I love, Mimi, the fact that they're sticking with this double controller and the Viper.
I really like the Viper comps on this map. I think they've always been strong on defense, especially Devias looked great, but this is much more sensible in terms of the rest of the utility. You're going to put a lot into something. I'm looking at what he can do with the AWP, starting on this defensive side, and what protocols Wolves have to deal with that.
Another player that we have to look at is Patman. Very quiet performance in the first map, something that is very, very different from what we've been seeing for the rest of the tournament from him.
Yeah, and he's going to have a lot of responsibility here, because I think like you're going to want that KO maybe to try and like clash a bit with the Deadlock there to prevent that utility from being a bit of a problem, try and sniff those things out. He's going to have a tall task ahead of him without a doubt here. Curious to see how this one plays out, because really it feels like both teams are doing their homework coming into this.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, I think that we also need to look at Forsaken. I think that one of the things that PaperX have to take great care of, number one is YU, because he's going to be most likely the one that is playing outside of the pack, and that could bring some, break some of the timings of Wolves that like to wait so much, and that is why I'm looking at these players to focus on.
Oh boy, all right, well, it's time now to get ready for map number 2. Toronto, you want to see a map 3? I said you want to see a map 3, Toronto! Let's send it back over to your casters who very much want a map 3. Here's Pansy and High Pop.
And you really can't blame us after map 1. 14-12, it tipped the way of PaperX in OT. But what a wild ride it was to get there. Now on Ascent though, Mike, has this changed any of your expectations?
I mean, you look at this, really, the upset would have come from Lotus for me. If Wolves could close out here, PaperX struggled domestically here on Ascent. They obviously have the loss to Genji previously here, sorry. So this is the opportunity now for Wolves to get back in control of this series and force a third, because Split should be an absolute barn burner if we get there.
Please, look, I
always delivers, man. A Split decider, always.
Oh,
lagi map 50-50.
Let's see if they can get there first. For PaperX though, in their minds, there's always been one goal, and it's the grand finals, right? This team put together, went back to the drawing board to rebuild.
There was a great line from Devi, I think, in one of the interviews, talking about every time he sees the champs LA finisher in-game, it haunts him. A couple of them actually, I saw them brought up on map 1.
So again, you've got to have been starving to truly understand hunger, and for PaperX, they've never really got that first place. Not when it matters. So for them, probably the best chance they've had in a minute's time, but still, it will be Wolves on the attack, PaperX on the defending side. Something tries to stake his claim towards middle, but will be warded away.
Back on the Sheriff actually here, QC with a flash. Close and personal, Sean actually Forsaken caught on the retreat back.
Yeah, maybe not thinking to want to fill that space yet, but there is still 2 players on this side of the map for PaperX, so Patman's still here. Jing still on this side too. Slow and steady again for Wolves. And it looks like PaperX wants this back, but it's just going to end up being a brawl, isn't it? They're ahead of the smoke, but what's the util on the corner? There isn't any. So Jing and Patman do really well. Eventually they trade it effectively though. Wolves keep the man to the good, and they get the site for themselves.
Man to the good, something down to 34 HP as well. But 2 Sheriffs on the side of PaperX here. Could pack a punch here on the retake. For a spam, that's the exchange back and forth. Still got a drone in play here for CUFAT BB.
That is lovely. Gonna have to keep themselves tucked in on this. I think both potentially spotted yet, and that was huge for this. Something can't get the shot. CUFAT BB off to a great beginning. But again, for Wolves, you got to make it work on these attacking sides.
Absolutely do. Talked about that being the main objective on Lotus. He did deliver.
One enemy remaining.
He repeats it here once more. Something. He can get that economy building, as Mimi mentioned, what he can get done with the operator potentially on the defensive side, always a factor on Ascent.
Right here. Oh, dibawa lari nih kayaknya.
Wolves have the tools to really prevent that from happening. Fairly invested here on round 2 as well. Respect being shown to PaperX. It's only Spring on a Sheriff, Bulldogs across the board. Actually, with that round 1, CUFAT BB already halfway to the Hunter's Fury as well, so looking for further progress potentially.
But again, a reminder of that last map too. These rounds aren't free. When it comes to that second round, it's just Sheriff, even it's just classics. PaperX will make something out of it. For now, though, again, it's a considered approach from Wolves, taking their time around the map. And CUFAT BB will be working towards, as said, that, or I imagine probably getting priority on that here. Caution needs to be shown. That deep haunt over towards B, you should have seen on the mini-map. Pretty indicative that no one's there, and the connection of the knife. So they should be pretty locked in for what's happening.
I have the spike.
Considering set piece here around the cage from Lysol, but...
Are they cancelling on this?
30 seconds left, they need to find progress somewhere.
Dangerous.
Especially with players like Jing tucked up Very deep position. Laboured, but Wayu comes out on top.
Yeah, the paranoia goes into sight, so they should be able to kind of springboard through this. Unless someone wants to smoke, now you can't. Now you're held back. It feels like the anti-Paper X, doesn't it? But they still find a way through. Divide up and over the top, but at this point the plant's going to be in. So very difficult to find much surprise, even ahead of maybe that deadlock util. You've got to be cautious. Again, you can afford losing one player, that being Spring. The rest you don't want to lose, and YU took a risk, but he should be fine.
Try.
Yes, stability looking good. So you've had BB going to be building
Ya kan,
very
jadi
close
dapat
to that
ult
ult, and a
ya
lovely
udahlah,
round
serah.
in the end from Wolves there, Mike.
Initially, see if BB did have the spike, but can't come
Dapat
through
duit,
elsewhere.
dapat
Still,
orb, apa dah?
fantastic progress made.
I got scared here though.
Very, very worried, yeah.
Emang udah nggak boleh guys.
Sometimes can be a little hard to tame. See if BB not having that issue in that regard. Sticking the spray. Now, that purchase, especially with Spring upgrading as well.
Wow, this is a nice spot.
Makes this round 3 doable here for Wolves. Actually, 2 light shields on the side of Paper X as well for something
Mana tu
forsaken.
They're fighting on every front though, Paper X here. Pressure down B main, pressure down cap, pressure on towards A main. It's a really risky ploy. I guess it does burn some of that early util for Wolves though, so there is that, and they're really committing the paranoia on that too.
Aduh.
Spring on the opposite side.
Okay, Dustin. Dust 9.
Positive in any of this, it would be incredible for him. Because in the meantime, look at where the spike's going, Mike.
I think if he can show presence or something actually. Forsaken's walked all the way up as well.
They don't know about Forsaken.
Ooh.
No, it's a quick beheading.
Aduh.
Couldn't get the follow-up on Lysor, and it might be the green light to go towards B. Still a player to hold his divider down.
Nice.
But still standing and still breathing on 35. He takes YU out of the equation. Now starting to flounder a bit. You can see it with Wolves. This was only their bonus, but still struggling to find the landing on this up against the 4 remaining for Paper X. That's going to be dealt with. You look at that mid lurk coming into effect too, but that's not going to find the value they want. And yeah, something clean with it. Lysor still making something of this. Spring still got his paranoia.
Bener-bener off tuh anjing.
If he can get through
Loh.
it, oh my god,
Aku
it's
kaget cuk, tak pikir
risky off the back.
pikir
but still.
CC anjing.
And now the smoke dissipates on. Oh! The smoke going down on CT opens up chance here. Divide tries to find that second before the paranoia lands, but 8 seconds now.
Lah.
Stop it, Wolves! One by one, they are taking down Paper X, and Jinx seems unaware of the possibility of Spring being so close. Smokes of his own and a couple of TPs. How do you divide and conquer this? I do not know. All eyes drawn to that potential in the smoke. Jinx steps forward, smoke goes down, and Spring finds him! Mike, I can't believe what I just saw.
Conversion on the bonus here. Talked about the threat with all those
What the
bulldogs.
fuck?
It looks like Paper X initially
Ngapain
come
cuk?
out with a win to catch this kill, but not just that.
Udah menang jumlah padahal 3 lawan 2 tuh kan.
Descending upon B site for some key pieces of utility, key damage towards Divide in that initial exchange.
Wah, Alek marah. Tuh, Alek marah. Tuh, Alek marah.
Pays off massively for Wolves. Get themselves the upper hand here to kick off map 2.
And I'm waiting with bated breath, right? Because that's a huge start for them. Because I feel like once you get Paper X on the attack, they come into their own, right? Able to control the tempo, kind of do what they please. But if you can stake a good claim for yourselves, the opportunity's yours. YU. Quick reminder.
Nice.
The Paper X are lethal no matter the weaponry. And that is going to be an upgrade for something. Might pass that over depending on the shield situation, but still, good stall here.
Oh, yeah, drone cancelled.
Massive. Patman.
Waduh.
Is he going to get to live here? There's a lot of targets. That all could be sent to war. Get grabbed. But Divine in the meantime, going to take down Juicy. Hold on, this is not completely secure by any means. They're in a 3v3, sure, but look at the HP of Lysor. See if BB does have his ult, but I don't think he can get away from
Scan Crawler.
So Spring waiting.
Crawler.
Now sees that. Forsaken, are you aware?
Aduh.
Going to be held up back towards heaven. The 2 players on site can focus towards short. Nice from Spring, but he goes down. And now something in Divine needs to come together in this. Somehow figure it out. The deep off angle from Lysor was lovely. Leaving Divine. What a shot! You got one more of those. You've done it before. You had the ace before. The man is a monster, but he's got to prove it now. And see if that BB has been ice cold in these. He knows the time. He knows the tempo.
Whoa!
That from Divine though. A belting shot.
Salute. Salute.
The Red Bull clutch here from Divide. Continuing to deliver here
Uncle, you so good tonight, huh?
God damn, just give the man a sheriff.
Itu dia, pentingnya crosshair placement ya adik-adik.
Another three-piece for him to add to the list.
Pentingnya crosshair placement.
Default plant spot
Langsung
safe
pala.
initially, but that position from CFAT BB to gamble. You can get a cheeky half defuse in, or you can go ahead and stick it. It forces the hand, especially with the recon bolt being used so early on.
Now they start pressuring the point. Look at that deep line. It's already adopted by something in that operator. Sit towards that. Prowler going to be clearing. No one nearby now.
My ult is ready.
And the ult gathered too. So a nice early step, but a fast mid take coming out from the Wolves.
Potential to backstab this. I think they're reading into maybe some deep presses. Yeah, we'll catch the backside of something for sure. And the second player.
Do something.
That is bravery. Why are you swinging that? Forsaken doubling down. It's a mistake and a punish. Is why you will lap that up. And now that B-side looks so vulnerable.
Flash. We'll guarantee the cross. Juicy's going to find Divide as well. And actually, yeah, that might just be.
Spike planted.
Orang masih hidup.
White flag put up from Paper X here to hold on to these weapons.
Something
No point feeding into this potentially with Juicy. Close to that ultimate. Spring's actually already on the hunt. Shadows. He wants to prevent any semblance of safety here for the remaining Paper X players. He's going to pick up a deep position in spawn though. There's still maybe a question mark if they're in towards market or
in
towards
spawn.
Round
ini.
Well, they will progress any further, but yeah, usually talk about discipline, and that was a lack of respect to something.
Yep.
Yeah, did he even get a shot off? Why he was just so quick to that?
Yeah, they seem really aware. Again, this kind of, it's not necessarily that regional matchup at all, but, you know, scrim partners and the information on this ahead of that swing, it was really well dismantled.
Yeah.
Again, Forsaken's fault as well, just felt it was too late to be going for that. There's no trade to be there. Desperation.
I think, yeah, again, once you notice the drone that's coming forward, you're not just swinging onto YU there.
Uncle marah.
Almost an expected response here from Paper X. They deal with the trip. They want to post something on a much deeper sight line. Again, the Prowler's sent through as well. So it's actually Wolves that have the upper hand in terms of the information game. It's a question mark for Paper X, actually. Who's behind that? And the punish, unfortunately, there for them. Will leave them at a 4-1 deficit now. Timeout called. There's a purchase. Considering the rifles behind this, maybe want to make a play for an orb here for something to offset that slightly. Is Forsaken going to be riding a stinger coming into this, but already a fantastic start for Wolves. Looking composed.
Yep.
As well, just hearing from Faye talking about how much actually those days off have paid off, because they've had, like we said, with the comeback in Gen G, the resilience shown, that takes a lot from a team, even if they're all smiles and on their feet on the stage and stuff. Behind closed doors, no doubt, no doubt that reset absolutely necessary to continue here in Toronto.
Yeah, spot on. So for them, it is now just how long can you keep
Wah, anjing
this up?
sejauh itu cak ultinya bangsat.
Paper X so far with that one round, but of course did have that timeout. Can hear the ults coming through as well for something. YU's kind of had their number on this B side, but it feels like they're getting the right read here. But are you going to go through the pit on this? No, brave enough to go for the ult orb, but that's about all she wrote. But that mid-cross is dangerous now.
I think I did just hear something pop the knives. It's not necessarily looking like as bad a situation here for Paper X.
I must wait a
They
moment.
try and navigate their way round the pit.
Looks like it, right?
The TP back here from Juicy to potentially collapse on B side very quickly with YU Spring.
Something washed anjing.
Can we just like highlight the fact you're doing that to something twice now? He's been outswung. If you don't think these Wolves are gunners, you are absolutely wrong. But now they've manipulated the map well. Now they want to maybe hit that cross back in again, and this is where those Stingers are going to start suffering. You're not in the right place for him, but Jing's still going to hold his ground. Paranoia primed and sent down through. Tries to escape, and he gets out at least for now. Patman's found life, Story's got support. Spring,
Oh.
sliding into Roger. Patman!
Let's go, Pat. Let's go. That's my boy. That's Pat that I know.
Puts himself in a deadly position and delivers here for Paper X.
Ini Pat yang baru kita kenal ya, adik-adik. Sang anchor.
It just jumps down, able to get behind this so quickly. Beautiful stuff from him. No semblance of comfort back in the coach booth whatsoever. Operator back in hand now for something.
OP lagi nyet.
All stacked up in mid now. The smoke will obscure for the time being.
Who's next?
So Juicy going to try and pave the way.
Nice.
Threads it round the corner there.
And something seems unafraid at all, and he gets out of danger. Trying to combine it with a Hunter's Fury, but it finds no value really. And
nice.
Forsaken just stands his ground. This feels like it's fallen flat here for Wolves. Paper X getting a good read and a good idea. It's going to need a hero to stand tall. Spring's done well towards Batman. Doesn't expect Devi.
Nice.
So close. Great trade for Devi there. And now just two remaining. Juicy and Sufat Baby in the 2v4, Mike. I mean, it would be a tilter.
I mean, they should find a straight 2v2 on either side here, but the issue being something is posted up. The operator. Again, not many tools left to... Actually, no, I haven't said that. Recon and Juicy with a full belt almost.
I'm trying to send it for the fake, I guess.
30 seconds left.
A nice idea. But it's not going to dissuade these players. They don't need to move.
Ya, save harusnya dia gak punya duit.
Yeah.
Gak punya duit, save harusnya.
Because they don't get a bite.
Yeah, it looks like a cancel.
I mean, YU 450, Spring 1350, and
10
Lysol
seconds left.
struggling to scrape together any funds here. So Paper X will find their third. Keep things honest in the start of Ascent. Let's see how the ultimates play here. It's only a TP for Spring, and as you can see on Paper X now, absolutely nothing and a million miles away from anything, to be honest with you. So a slight advantage in that regard, but it's not much. I mean, Lysol going to be potentially the next key ultimate for the Wolves.
I've got to say as well, for me, good start seeing Patman find a bit of impact too. He's been a really good player for them.
Yeah, a quiet map one as well, so seeing him come online, certainly a positive.
Oh, nice.
Got the timing so right.
Loh.
So a good bit of spacing and trading from Juicy just to swing that.
Tapi lumayan lah, nge-drop damage.
There's no pressure towards middle, but he's very paranoid about it. They want in on this. Still not noting him. The stall's there. If they try and disrespect it, it's going to be brutal. And it is. Yet way too difficult on the way in. Juicy, what is that? You're 1 HP. You're not meant to be doing this sort of stuff. And now Spring left in a 1v2 as well. So unwilling to deny that that scale up towards B was their right idea.
They're wrapping the spike as well. Both Jing and something.
This guy's paranoia, smoke.
Bahaya ini, bahaya ini. Mereka dia masih punya utility banyak banget.
Potentially, yeah, going to get himself a clean plant.
Shadows traveling.
With the smoke towards CT, kind of implies
Ada
he's
senjata
not
nggak sih, Ting?
expecting this wrap.
Agak.
TP should
Dia
be
mampus
to that
dia anjing.
paranoia. What do you
now
do
he's
with it?
gonna know.
Yeah, a little interested on that, but the corner slow peaks ain't gonna get you past something, and he's gonna take a stand on that one. But it felt like Wolves were so headstrong in wanting to hit towards that B site, but the scaling up just didn't feel right there.
Initially, that first kill was a Forsaken. Yeah, Forsaken gets caught here with the
Oh,
flash.
dia kena anu juga.
Again, you look at the
Gak
minimap
esok
at that
kabur.
moment, and there is a huge gap in the Paper X defense. So happens. I mean, Juicy picks up a little momentum, but that kill there, he was down to 1 HP, and the shorty connects from here. just as the door is about to close. Potentially sealing that post plan for Wolves, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't like it. And now Wolves starting to run dry, it looks like. Again, when we're talking about these sort of big stage games, it is that level of comfort on here when you're under the gun, because yes, they did lose out to, what was it, Sen early on, but beyond that, they've not really dropped a map for Wolves. They've been on that kind of momentum run. So now they're starting to hit that brick wall, right? You kind of expect it in towards these sort of games. The caliber just keeps increasing. I want to see how well they do in this. Obviously, they did great against Gen G. That, to me, was the tick in the box of authenticity.
Yeah, almost a turning point.
Yeah. Like everything else, I feel like, okay, maybe people underestimated them. Maybe they...
Yeah, because you have that step up again for playoffs where it's like, obviously, the stakes get raised. We're not talking about elimination for Wolves, but certainly the caliber increases, the pressure definitely correlates with that. And then you step into a series versus Paper X. Talk about Gen G being an international titan, but
Paper X, I mean, God, I said it
need no introduction when it comes to the international stage.
Truly not. And again, I think that because of their lack of, you know, let's say international trophy, that there has been that worry about them, how well they do, their expectations, but they are still a grand finalist team, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
That's just something that doesn't even need to be said half
to the
the
game.
time. But at this point, they've course corrected well. They've got everything back to where they like it. And for something, he's going hunting. He knows where the man is.
Yeah, Cam dealt with quickly. You see on the minimap as well, situation developing outside A site. Then the knife is going to have given that info across. Really juicy with a rifle here, and all of that if you may.
This feels very classically Paper
Lari,
X as well.
Jason.
Dangerous position for Forsaken. He could get outswung here, and he is on his own because you saw the rotation route coming out from something. So times it well to back away, and that C's obviously giving it a couple of seconds and actually plays back in something. You don't often see fights this deep on the map, but welcome to Paper X, I guess.
Yeah, Paper X just don't want Wolves to sit back and set up here, preventing any rotation back towards the B side of the map.
Oh, delay.
Still commanding this space.
Yo,
and
sekarang.
actually
Aduh, kenapa gak dipakai?
If he threw it.
Udah 30 detik. Cari info,
Probably
cari
still
info, 30 detik.
Exactly what's going on.
Yeah, look
They've
at
got
this.
the, snake bite and the fragment.
Oh, this is an awful sight to have to try and approach. Basically dry at this point. Yeah, Juicy still going to get Jing down, but we're... Okay, guys, you were primed for this. And Divine looks like he's trying to do everything himself.
Woi, apa itu bang? Apa itu bang?
That's unfair. That's a bit of bullying, but I like it. 5-4 now, tipping the scales on their side. And I've got to say, Wolves looking a little bit shaken by this.
Yeah, and I guess, I don't want to say lost for answers, but unable to really troubleshoot with some of these approaches that Paper X are displaying here on the Sen. Juicy, again, good for 2 on the way in here.
Yeah, surprise.
A moment where Divine can't ping down Spring.
Something typically gameplay, boys. Tabang-tabang shorty.
And it looks simplistic in approach, it looks direct, and something looks to turn this operator into a shotgun. I mean, he's feeling himself here. It's a really risky play. It's now been... Oh! Great target selection! Catching Suzak Baby just in towards the Owl drone. And he's still standing. He looks like he wants to absolutely pop off here. And he is.
Whoa!
And one by one they fall. Can he find that final man as well?
Something baru
Why are you looking to try and take towards the site? But something's been dominant about this so far. The double swing. Position noted. Something's going hunting. Hungry for his 4-3 already in the round. There's not much to be done for YU here, Mike.
Especially not now. Already a solid idea of where he's at. Paper X just want to decisively close out round 10 here.
No escape. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Something gets his fourth, and he is just getting scarier and scarier as the game goes on.
Like they're channeling into that 6th gear. Putting up now 5 rounds unanswered for Paper X.
Oh.
It did start a 4-1 scoreline here. The tides certainly have turned. We're actually draw out a
Kalau
second
dilihat
timeout
something
here for
manis
Wolves.
manis guys.
And the opening stretch
Kayak atu.
of Ascent. Desperate, I guess, from Fade to try and recover things here. Hope for a 6-6. Actually see Fat BB, the one to really lead this dialogue.
Yeah, it's not Fade. This is the captain checking in with the boys. See that pressure starting to mount.
Because I guess this is the uncharted territory for this team, right? Is being on international stage and coming up against opponents that you just can't crack through that first
Tapi tuh rambut sih
sort of
bakal
line of
kering sih guys.
defense.
Sumpah ini treatmentnya sih susah nih.
Again, this is where these guys really earn their money, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
It's coming up with the goods here.
It's all good and well to have those Cinderella runs, right? And it's why we love them. They're such fun to witness. But the reality is normally that fairy tale falls short. There's been very few occasions where it's gone the whole distance. You could argue EG and Champs was probably one of the only ones that ever made it.
The outlier, yeah.
That is it. Paper X have been that fairy tale run in the past, but they never quite made it themselves. For Wolves, they have to face that reality now. How bad do you want it? Do you have really what it takes to push someone like Paper X away from something they are singularly focused on? That grand final is what they want. Jing gonna draw blood. It's beautiful and juicy. Not getting what he needs there.
And a tag or two, but Forsaken happy with that. Something will follow up here. YU will fall. Now actually, reaggress here, but Paper X will correct.
Yeah,
just see Fat BB now.
They're making it hurt, Mike.
And this is when it's rough to play against Paper X. They know when to keep on pressuring. Don't allow you any say
One
in
more
the
round yuk,
round.
one more round. 8, make it 8.
As well. That's 6 now. With no response.
Beautiful.
Didn't even look like that was going to land as well.
Oh. Simply lovely from Paper X. And as said, the pressure starts weighing on the chest for Wolves. It's still a manageable scoreline.
Absolutely,
still smiles.
Smilesnya tapi udah bukan smiles yang happy guys, ya smiles smile anu doang itu, smile apa? Karir, tawa karir doang.
So rough to play against Paper X though when they get themselves ahead. They know to not let up. Wolves can potentially find a 7-5 here. It will be. Big tick in the box.
Oh, bang on. But that wherewithal, that discipline, that capability in the high pressure games now is the biggest test for them. Looking a little fraught here so far. Last couple of rounds just not quite been in the wheelhouse. And again, the timing on these knives, rather good.
Fragment preventing anybody slipping the smoke, even though Devi
Dia gak punya sentinel tapi main 2 kemok.
tucked into logs because
Sama
Paper
aja.
X can sit in this formation.
Oh god. I mean, Devi just, he does get caught playing ahead there. That is one thing that's worked in their favor. He tried to lean a little forward, gets punished. But Forsaken, the Guardian in this one, keeping them at bay. And look at who slipped towards the site in the meantime. Jing still here, doing the dance, does it well, takes down another. Forsaken popping up with 20 seconds.
Oh, respect cok sama
The
dia ulti
leader
anjing.
for the Wolves side has to stand and he can't. Falls to Forsaken.
Good son,
At
good son.
8-4, such a commanding scoreline.
Really is. Wolves' resilience will be tested once more to try and come back here. He said 7-5, doable 8-4. I mean, it's a pistol round 2.
Idealnya udah kayak anjing udah ente nih kayaknya guys. Dalam hati udah gitu dia sudah.
To come up against.
Yeah, they've got their work cut out now for Wolves. This is a tough scenario. Paper X, singular in their goal.
In-game anjing, kirain punya aku tuh yang tuntung-tuntung anjing.
There yet. One more half stands in their way. So they need to prepare themselves. And it seems like we're about to send it over to Vansili with Sid City standing by.
3 menit halftime, ngapain kita guys?
Thank you so much, Pansy and Hypog. We have a hell of a game so far, but I'm joined on the floor right now by Sid City. Toronto, give it up to Sid City. Sid City, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. The energy in the stadium is insane.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the
Kayak
last time we had a
ini,
chance to speak with each other, it was during an Americas matchup in
Dikit lah,
LA.
mirip.
What's the vibes like here in Toronto in a sold-out Masters Toronto?
Yeah, I think it's insane because the East Coast and Canada hasn't had an event like this in a long time. And Los Angeles always has events like this. So the crowd, I feel like you guys are like super excited to finally be here in person and watching the games. Like, you guys are insane.
Toronto, are you excited? Hell yeah. And now you've played, you have some experience playing in Game Changers before, so you have an eye for skill. In this matchup so far between PaperX and Wolves, who do you have your eye on so far?
Okay, honestly, at first I wasn't gonna say this, but after that ace with the deagle on that defuse round, Divide.
So does that mean Devi and PaperX are taking it serious?
Yeah, I mean, I got PRX rocket on my sleeve right now, so I think they're gonna scare us a little, make it a close match, but I think PRX is gonna like close it out. I'm sorry, Wolves. I'm sorry. You've been great though.
Well, Wolves, you know what to do. It's time to
Hey, AU yang bener cuman ada di Boom Esport ya adik-adik, parah.
Silly sending it on that. He's such a bold
AU
man.
yang bener cuman ada di Boom Esport, jing.
That's what I've been hearing in the hotel.
Tapi Boom Esport juga lolos.
Yeah, fair play. And they're going to need a couple of 4 rounds. Isn't many, right? PaperX sat on 8. See on the Coinbase Econ report, kind of just the lay of the land, really. And it has been a bit of a something show in my mind. He has elevated. I was worried after that first round with the operator. It didn't seem to phase him. He was right back into business.
Yeah, and I think the issue being now coming into the second half, you see the string of rounds. It's been collected by PaperX. Wolves haven't had much of a say in some of these losses. Yes, coming down to maybe a 1v1 here and there, but all the crucial kills feel as if they went PaperX's way. Like I said, we started at a 4-1 scoreline. Now it being 8-4, a pistol and a round 2 can often seal the fate of the team.
Balik. Wajar sih susah masuk.
First contact made, that's 2 players, and a third now noted. That's a lot of info. Siufa BD is being bold about this, but he's been revealed, he's been just about everything, but they've weathered the storm.
Yeah, I think initially there, the further investment of utility implied that PaperX were going to follow through, but maybe the Prowler catching on Siufa BB made them think there's potentially a little bit of a stack.
The timing on this. Lovely timing on that, but something is free. A little bit of a dick though, going to do some serious work. The Spring's already down low, now even lower. Cleared, Forsaken, Divide, trailblazing their way
Close the round.
The A site is their goal,
3v2.
and the plant's going to be in.
YU and Siufa BB, a 2v4. Couple of
2v4 malah.
Tagged up, but
Close the round, boys.
Certainly doesn't
control this.
in Wolves' favour. Have to overcome the odds here. PaperX just poised for anybody to step out. That's it.
Ngapain?
Okay, it's not over yet, but YU's going to come into this as well. Jing's quieted him down, but Siufa BB's going to see both players basically. He's got to know where they are, but he can't do enough.
Anjing, cok tadi bikin suara anjing.
Get them back here, but PaperX take another step in the right direction.
On the brink of double digits. Again, as soon as they find, I guess, what they perceive as a point of weakness, they follow through. Wolves not able to even backtrack. Well invested here for round 2 as well.
Desperate mereka, guys.
Don't want to leave anything up to chance. Rifles except for Patmen and Forsaken. Actually, Wolves set up in a little bit of a stack here. Flash in's only going to slow down the inevitable, it feels. Maybe toying with the idea of contesting that orb, but doesn't happen. I think PaperX probably smell something.
There's a trap around that corner, guys, I'm pretty sure. Feels
Gila 4
weird
orang anjing mantekin bangsat.
Looking to farm. If he falls, it would be a prize possession garnered.
I was curious there if Forsaken was going to show some utility on the other side of the map, because It's just Lysor, but Devi actually is calling
Di try nih.
That's one. There's more, and it's cleared
Echo sih.
systematically, one by one. The flash through smoke is nice. See that BB is already noted as well. Can't really fall away from the stairs. Jing already takes the angle. Paper X looking locked in here, Mike. They're
Untung misal run.
punches.
No, they're not. Again, showing diligence this time around.
Oh, sekarang banyak yang di sana ya.
And that's when it really flips the switch. Wolves the ones to left, kind of to sweat in this scenario.
Pressure banget nih orang anjing sumpah.
Almost a second guess themselves, but Jing, a third found and a 10th on the board for Paper X. This buy round,
that's it,
is huge for Wolves. And this bonus even bigger for Paper X if they can find it. Only the one casualty.
That you're gonna cry, bro.
So they come into round 3. Flushed out in terms of the inventory. And Pac-Man actually just going to ride a Sheriff through here.
Not bad lah ini guys
Taking
untuk
the Jing
Paper X.
closest in terms of this ult cycle. Cover going on. Nothing of note for Wolves, but potentially a pace change. Just initially, Forsaken going to retrieve one orb. Trying to retrieve one orb.
Yeah, a couple times of asking. All good.
But don't have control over towards A main, so.
A little bit cagey as a start, isn't it? You can see the...
I mean, it's a huge ultimate to have in the bonus, so you know they're going to want to come for this orb.
Oh, here it is. They've taken the taunt.
And actually, Lysor and Spring do peel away.
Now they've cleared B main. If you're looking at Wolves' side, they cleared B main. So they might leave YU here, but you can already see that rotation coming in from Juicy. He's going to try and pop himself over towards A.
Paper X aren't dead set just yet. I think maybe going to prioritize short hit to catch somebody out. They don't want to walk
Ada
into this
waktu
jungle.
sih masalahnya.
No, and that's going to encourage to play forward, but
Nice.
denied. Forsaken with the first blow, and it could be a lethal one at that. Juicy.
Hey!
But job done, and Lysor does well. Tucked into hell.
Boys!
Another with him. The walls aren't done yet, but Forsaken captured and held in place. The spike now left loose. With 20 seconds, he's got to make a miracle out of this. 3 players. Forsaken. Not going to get it. A lifeline for Wolves.
3 left standing as well, just an armor or shield to repurchase here for Juicy. Again, that was the bonus, so Paper X is going to come back in, and because Pac-Man only brought a Sheriff to the party,
Spike down A. Spike down.
it's almost rinse and repeat here. Not out of the woods just
Mulai,
yet.
mulai.
Cannot get the ball rolling in terms of the comeback.
But again, though, this was something that was said about that BB was building up his players, right? Keeping them confident, trying to keep them in the game. He's going to have to keep doing that because Paper X don't stop. Even in their losses, they will still play confident games. And something taking space. Solo Endeavor. 2 players on the other side. CUFAT, BB, and Lysor playing top mid off the back of that trip placed in as well. So they've got a lot to play off of here. A very difficult scenario. Pac-Man on that deeper line in case someone does swing. It's got to be those early protocols being cleared.
I mean, it is a duelist's nightmare to play into this composition. But Lysor.
So Lysor udah kayak
Still have that trip, so they can still have confidence behind that. But they've read it wrong to an extent, right? They're kind of falling for this fade pressure on towards B main, but we know where it's heading. Paper X are once again eyeing up this A site. This is brutal. You got Juicy still here, you got Spring still here, but Paper X are right at the door now. And away they go, something away and gets punished. Spring does well, great paranoia too. Tries to slow the roll here, buy time for these rotations. Fresh from main held back by the smoke, but Devi gonna lean forward. Lurch closer, Juicy play in the corner, gets denied. Looks for the follow-up, no. Spring barely alive on 2, but he's still breathing until then.
Plan boys, no more time.
Man to the good for Paper X, and now Plant on their side.
Yeah, 3v2 boys, remember?
From heaven here. CUFAT BB a little ahead of YU.
Duh, mencoba bawa tai, tapi guys.
They're tucked in right now.
Gotta see discipline. That's a shoulder shown. Some damage made. So
Tawa dulu ada 2 orang.
That
Forsaken on the
third
X-ray, though.
is a problem. That third being Forsaken, but they're losing out on the site. Couldn't quite get the follow-up. And PaperX striding
Tidak jadi bawa tai.
across the
Nice.
now. 11 rounds to their name.
A tough loss here for Wolves. Like I said, with the bonus being as well invested as it was.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, now seems daunting to approach this round 17.
God, you get that sinking feeling in your stomach,
Yes,
don't
for
you?
sure, yeah.
Your money's rotten. You haven't really found a way to handle PaperX. Maybe your chances existed and died on that first map, but they're not out yet. At 11-5 though, you can start hearing that music play, can't you? That 12th round looks likely. But in its way, good couple of sheriffs, Ghost,
Tim Liquid anjing.
and a team with a whole lot of hopes here. But for PaperX, they've got their own plan in mind. And that's a big investment and a big shot. Lysol lands it, so Jing's gone down. That's a weapon recoverable if they want it.
Yeah, and PaperX actually aren't in a position to capitalize elsewhere. They're spread so thin. Spike not committed anyway just yet. So that man advantage will stand for the time being. No weapon recovered though for Wolves.
Oh. Nice from Patman, big kill there on towards Juicy. And that knife should reveal at least one more, so do they need to turn away from this? Or do they just keep stepping forward? It feels a little headstrong for my taste, but it's PaperX, you kind of know what you're in for here. Lysol was the one to do the damage. It looks like they're trying to trail up towards heaven. Something bulldozes forward. YU, great shot. 25 seconds, and Lysol still standing. Has to go above and beyond here. One down. He's doing the dance. Oh,
nice.
so elusive and evasive to
1v2.
try and land those shots. Sufet Baby was so far away.
Classic only.
That is low.
Ah, lu mati sendiri dong. Hampir,
Forsaken
Cok.
is not. I know. Oh, Hail Mary! Oh, for a second!
Hampir.
I thought it was possible. But 12 found, and the
Udah
final
kena mental,
stand
Cok.
has to be now for Wolves.
This time PaperX able to wait out, navigate their way into this defense. Get everything they need. It comes down to a fine margin once again. The PaperX undeterred in terms of the finances here. A couple of ultimates starting to rear their heads. The side of Wolves actually
Nice. One more round, boys.
just one away from some of these key ultimates, but we'll even get a chance to see them. Juicy, Fat BB, no command here from Patman.
Okay. Anti-setup though, which is nice.
Hey,
They're still going to
berapa
get a bit
saya
of a
Batman?
reward from this, right? It starts feeling very, very likely. Layers of ults though. Lysol could be in trouble here. Fat Baby trying to get on site, but Juicy goes unattended, unchecked, and he's rewarded. Great kills on 2. Finding more would be mythical at this point, but for PaperX, they are left in tatters. Mike, I don't know if they could do it, just these 2 players. Desperation play from Patman. Has got his man, but Wolves stave off what
Hampir,
feels like
guys.
the inevitable with 3 still alive.
Clinging to life here, the Newell theft being the catalyst for PaperX. They know they have to fight for sight then. I think Patman what down to just a lick of HP.
Yeah.
No chance for them to sit back and try and defend that, but
Pengen keburu di closing nih sama bocah-bocah nih kayaknya.
stop this from spiraling out of control.
One enemy remaining.
Second ping, paying off there.
Breaks the money.
Yeah, it does.
Still got ults though. I say ult. And it's a scary one with something. He's had a really good map here. Can they deny him now? Can they stop it now? Spring forced away, looking a little shaky, but something's fallen.
He's caught on the trip, nobody broke it for him.
Which is a little bit worrying. That could be a tilter for him there, because that was meant to be their kind of, I guess, main part of the piece.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a nightmare for a duelist to play into this composition, but you really need that second or third man in line to deal with that sort of thing here. Juicy deals with Jing.
Main sendiri-sendiri lagi, guys. Eku sih Eku, tapi nggak gitu-gitu juga kali.
Try and punish, but not to be. So PaperX try and do what they can, and Wolves aren't allowing it. Patman does well towards sight. Fat BB still on the back lines. Doesn't need to overextend himself. Waits for the swing. Wolves Control this well, Mike.
Boys, satu doang buat closing yuk.
Digits. That's where I'll start
That's
believing.
where we start. Yeah. It takes one round. PaperX up to 12 here. And that is a frustrating one for something.
Yeah, again, just looking at the minimap, there's two members here down in Arch. It's time to happen. And again, I'm not saying dealing with a trip and something goes wild there, but Bladestorm invested in that sort of round in particular. You never want to see a Jet having to invest a knife to deal with a trip, especially with two people in close proximity.
Find you.
But necessarily a big deal, all things considered.
Back to work though.
Looking for revenge up here.
Yeah, this time he wants in. See if that BB playing top mid. Looking at the rest of the team split throughout.
Yuk bisa yuk, jangan ngecuk yuk, Yuk bisa yuk. Masuk ngecuk ya guys ya.
Jing's got to be cautious as well. Going to spell out Lysol. And this is a creep towards A though. Look at the pressure. Spring's in potential trouble. Does have his paranoia if he needs it. Investment of the ult will come down the other side of the map though. Juicy's going to clear and give away that there's no one here, but they don't know about Jing. He's been able to slip ahead early. They don't know about Jing, and now you do. Like a knife to the heart, but Spring answers back. Trying to... What? Oh, Spring! You are a madman!
Spike down.
Goes absolutely beyond all expectation, but it is a 2v2. Don't think it's over yet. Spike is there. It's picked up. Sent back away. Plant's coming in.
Look at the pit as well.
Oh my god, this is going to be down to the wire, isn't it? Divide disconnected towards A main. You're going to have Jing tucked towards site. Spring.
Wait, just missed him.
God. The timing, unbelievable. Spring trying to play the game, and Jing now going to be doing the around the world here, but they've given up position. This could be a mistake here, but they don't know about it. Obviously, they don't know about it. The pit's going to fall. And now you're looking at Jing. Devi strikes first. What are you? Hold on again. Can he take down Devi? He absolutely can!
Ngapain JJ ke sono guys? Kan ultinya buat ngeplaynya bukan buat sono JJ.
Closes out with a Red Bull clutch here to keep Wolves alive.
JJ, what you doing?
Look at this round. This from Spring. You know it's a mad play when even PaperX don't expect it. You know that's a mad one.
Don't interrupt.
3 bullets left for YU.
That's the killer instinct I want to see though. To be able to do that against
Ngapain JJ cabut? Harusnya JJ stay di atas.
And I gotta say,
Plannya kan buat
frustration, rightfully
backside.
so. They give up the pit. They play themselves out of line of sight of the spike. Yes, it needs a miracle, but it's Wolves you're talking about here.
It's still only 8 rounds. We said we start paying attention at 10. They've broken the bye, but it's still PaperX. They can do it with classics. But something seems so unwilling to let go of this mid pressure. He wants it so badly. So Juicy's got to be careful. There is a world where he could get timed on this one. Those stingers, very, very deadly. We're going to go down. Camera here. Doesn't need to overstay his welcome. Could do with some support on CT though. They do have an open path straight across. Devi going to deny that. No one's going to be able to help out YU here. Does get to at least evade the C's, but they are right knocking at the door. PaperX have a way forward.
No damage done just yet towards the side, but actually now YU going to have his hands full.
Oh, outdone. PaperX making something out of nothing, and maybe a mistake made by the Wolves.
Harusnya ini closing guys, yakin aku.
Like it's coming in.
Harusnya ini closing.
Mid lurk as well coming out from Jing. Juicy tries to make something of it. Takes away Forsaken, but the number's still good. PaperX hold the advantage here. Devi could be timed in this though. It's all going a little topsy-turvy. And of course, this is the round to do it. Lysol asked so much of. 3 defined, and he falls. Round
Kelihatan dari positioning, dapat plan, dapat satu senjata, punya pakai senjata short ring, bomb side B, udah closing.
Further elevation on the side of PaperX today, overcoming. It's quickly become a fan favorite here in Toronto.
Vamos.
Still, got to come away from this series with their heads held high for your Wolves.
Yes, absolutely.
But PaperX deliver an absolute banger here. And a 2-0 victory over Wolves.
Yeah, spot on. Again, a lot of credit to Wolves, and they're certainly not done yet, but Again, calling the uncrowned princes, call them what you want. PaperX have another shot at this now. It was never about just getting to a grand final, though. It was always about that final step.
Well played lah.
The first to lock it in here
Well played,
in
well played.
Toronto. Who will they be standing up against is the big question, but a great performance here. 2-0, Mike. They've got to be happy with this one.
Absolutely, and for me, Patman and Devi being two key stakeholders here for PaperX.
Devi for me was absolutely on the money. How
I mean,
many
even
times?
said this is a guy that's been under so much flack.
Yeah.
Because again, it typically doesn't slip into that same sort of ethos and the visual check, I guess. It's tough to really see his role within this roster and I guess the play style, but man, today, shining bright.
Yeah, I said making those big plays is
Ini nggak ada salam-salaman tos-tosan nih. Gak mungkin dong, ada dong, tos-tosan pasti ada dong. Justru nunggu masa anjing.
Just want to see how far this goes for them. As I said, as soon as it's ready, we will head down to that Verizon post-match interview. I'm sure we'll be jumping down there in a moment. Yeah, it does seem as though we are ready. So let's hear from the players themselves. Down with Yinsu.
It's been 2 years in the making, but PaperX are finally back in another grand final. I know, Jing, you're a man of few words, but I gotta get your reaction on this because, JJ, this is your third grand final on the global stage. How does this compare to LA and Copenhagen?
I think now we have like more experience, so hopefully third time's the charm. Hopefully.
And speaking of that experience, you know, your very good friend Forsaken and you've been through a lot. What's Jason like as a leader these days on stage?
I think he's doing a really great job as being a leader. He's like keeping the whole team hype and keeping all our energy good, and I think he makes everyone really excited as well and really hyped. So yeah, I think mood is really great now, and hopefully we carry on the momentum to grand finals.
Okay, I have one very important question. The crop top. We have been promised the crop top in Pacific. We haven't seen it. Now you're in a grand final. Are we bringing out the crop top finally?
I mean, like I said in the press con, if we win grand finals and my team wears the crop top with me, I'll do it.
All right, okay, we need to get PaperX behind this crop top. I know one person that might be down for this, of course. I'm going to get told off if I don't get David here on your thoughts. First of all, Devi, your first ace on the global stage. Was that fun?
To be fair, I just want to win the round. But now I got an ace. I mean, thanks to you guys, and very happy.
Anyone you want to dedicate that ace to? You know, it's your first one. It's a special one.
I mean, I got to dedicate to my bro Pujan. I think he's here now, right?
I'm glad you mentioned him because I think, of course, you have a lot of fans. You know, they're all here very keen to get your pictures and signatures. But I do think you can probably flex a little bit about just your fan base because it's not just these guys out here. It's FNS. I saw Tens and Kaide wearing a PaperX jersey as well. So how grateful are you that all these people in the community want you to win?
Yeah, I mean, we are very thankful that we have so many fans across the world. And even yesterday, Tens and Kaide and Mel came to our place. So it's nice meeting them. Probably it's Tens buff, you know. So yeah, hopefully we do well in grand final and hopefully not second place again.
Yalah.
I hope so for
Come on,
you
it's
as
time
well.
for you to back at the
Toronto,
champs.
as
To be
sign a
champs.
few more things one more time for your first
Terakhir kali dia
grand
Tokyo nggak
finalist,
sih guys?
PaperX.
Kick off. Iya cok, gak ada tos cok. Wah, gak ada tos anjing. Wah iya cok, gak ada tos. Baiklah, udah guys. Thank you teman-teman semuanya sudah nonton ya. Izin off stream dulu teman-teman, istirahat karena besok saya masih bekerja. Jadi kita ketemu di kesempatan stream yang lain ya teman-teman. So thank you so much for watching.
You might have heard I'm going through a little upgrade with my tats. So when Verizon announced that everyone gets a free phone on any plan, pain-free,
bye bye. Thank you
count me in.
teman-teman. Bye bye.
Try and beat it. I'll give you a sec.